First Coast Math Clinic with Lesson 3, the distributive property, from Unit 2, Equations and Expressions, with pre-algebra and algebra focus. The goal in this video is to use the distributive property to simplify expressions. And before we get into simplifying expressions, I want to talk about coefficients and what coefficients are, because we're going to be working with coefficients in this video. So let's say we've got the expression 2x. Well, this means 2 times x, and the 2 in this term, in this expression, is our coefficient. So when we have 2 times x, this basically means, well, we've got 2 x's. So we can rewrite this as x plus x. Just like we have 3y, the 3 here is our coefficient, and we've got 3 y's, so we could represent this using addition. This is going to be y plus y plus y. We have something like this, 5z. The 5 is our coefficient, so we've got 5z's, so we can write this as z plus z plus z plus z plus z 5 times. Now, what if we have something like this, right? So we've got 2 times the quantity x plus 5. So we're going to be using the distributive property with expressions that look like this. Well, what does this mean? So the 2 is our coefficient, and we've got 2x plus 5s. So we can rewrite this as x plus 5 plus x plus 5, right? We've got 2x plus 5s. So thinking back to our previous video on like terms, we can group our like terms together. So like terms are going to be the x's. So x plus x, and the 5s plus 5 plus 5. So the coefficients here are going to be 1. So 1x plus 1x gives us 2x, and 5 plus 5 gives us 10. So this is our simplified expression. Now, you may have noticed a shortcut. Instead of, we don't want to do this, if we don't want to rewrite this, x plus 5 plus x plus 5, we could basically just take that 2 and using our distributive property, distribute it and multiply it by each of the terms inside the parentheses. So we're going to have 2 times x plus 2 times 5. And I'll use parentheses to represent the multiplication. 2 times x is just 2x. 2 times 5 is 10, and we get the same answer both ways, right? So this is the math that we're going to be using, the distributive property that we're going to be using to simplify our expressions. So let's get into some expressions simplifying using the distributive property. Let's simplify numbers 1 and 2 using the distributive property. So for number 1, we've got 3 times the quantity 2x plus 4. So we're going to multiply 3 times 2x, 3 times 4. So I'm going to use parentheses to represent our multiplication. 3 times 2x plus 3 times 4. 3 times 2x is going to give us 6x. 3 times 4 is going to give us 12. So our simplified answer here should be 6x plus 12. Number 2, we're going to do the same thing. All right, we've got 5 times the quantity x plus 3. So we're going to distribute the 5. And then 6 times the quantity 2x minus 1. So we're going to distribute the 6. So we're going to have 5 times x plus 5 times 3. And then distribute the 6. 6 times 2x. And I'll put the minus 1 first, so we keep that sign. Minus 1 times 6. Remember, multiplication is commutative. Order doesn't matter. So now I'll have 5x plus 15 plus 12x minus 6. Now let's group our like terms together. So our like terms are going to be 5x and plus 12x plus 15 and minus 6. So let's group those. 5x plus 12x plus 15 minus 6, and we get 17x plus 9 as our simplified answer. Let's move on to examples 3 and 4. All right, so for number 3, we've got 7 plus 3 times the quantity x plus 1. So I put this one in on purpose because there's a common mistake that people make when they see an example like this. The common mistake is people like to say, okay, we got the 7 plus 3. They like to go from left to right and add that up and get 10 times x plus 1. We don't want to do that first. What we want to do is do our multiplication first. Remember our order of operations, we have to do the multiplication before we do the addition. So I've got to multiply out that coefficient of 3 before I do anything with that 7. So I'm going to bring down the 7. I'll have 7 plus 3 times x plus 3 times 1. All right, so I'm going to bring down the 7 plus 3x plus 3. Group our like terms, 7 plus 3 plus 3x, and I get 10 plus 3x. I like putting the x term in front, so 3x plus 10 is going to be our answer. And remember, when you see something like this, you've got to do the multiplication first. So we've got to distribute that 3 first before we do anything with that term that we're adding here. At number 4, we've got 2/3 times the quantity 9x plus 15. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to distribute the 2/3. So I'll have 2/3 times 9x plus 2/3. Actually, let me put that in parentheses. Times 15. And I'm multiplying by fractions here. So to make this easier, let's make the 9x a fraction by putting it over 1. Let's make the 15 a fraction by putting it over 1. And let's just multiply straight across. Remember, when we multiply our fractions, we can multiply just straight across, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. And we're going to get 18x over 3 plus 30 over 3. Now we can divide. 18 divided by 3 is 6x plus 30 divided by 3 is 10. So our answer is going to be 6x plus 10. Now, if we want to do a shortcut here, at this step, we could divide, say 9 divided by 3. We could divide by 3 and 3. We get 1 and 3. 15 divided by 3. We get 1 and 5. And now when we multiply, 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 3 is 6. So we can simplify everything at this step as well and make our math a little bit easier. Okay. So this was lesson 3, the distributive property from equations and expressions. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. First Coast Math Clinic.